The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is by far my favorite game of all time. I've been playing it ever since I was like 6 or 7, however old I was when it came out in like 2006. I was raised by this game and all of its kooky, buggy glory. It is an incredible game. It tries way too hard to take itself seriously when it looks like this.
I'm Newheim, Anvil Harbor Master.
But I was essentially raised by this game, and that means I did a lot of weird shit growing up. Just things that only a kid would find entertaining. And I look back on these memories really fondly, because it's funny to see what I found entertaining as a kid. And I just wanted to compile it into a video. And hey, I'll probably make this into a series, because this is just a tip of the weird shit I did in Oblivion iceberg. Also, after scripting this, I realized that all of these take place in Skingrad, so consider this just like the Skingrad edition of the series. Anyways, let's get into the list and let me know of any of your own nostalgic memories of Oblivion, because I love just talking to people who also grew up with this game. It's such a near and dear thing to my heart. So first off, the sheep in Skingrad. So like outside there's these sheep and they just kind of wander around, but they will follow the player if they have apples in their inventory. I didn't know this as a kid. I thought they would just randomly decide to follow you. So you could find me circling around these fuckers all the time, like trying to get them to follow me, because I just thought they decided sometimes if you wandered around them. No, it was because I had apples in my inventory sometimes, and I didn't know that. So I spent hours. And when I did get them to follow me, I would like lead them around and I'd try to put them in the paddock to like put them up. I don't know why. I was just like, the sheep need to go in their paddock. They need to be safe. And all of the paddocks in Skingrad have like a gap where it's not completely fenced in. So they just leave every time. But I did this for hours. I am not joking. I was obsessed with animals in general as a kid. I still am now, but like in games, I was obsessed. So I loved these sheep. I loved how they'd follow you. It made me so happy. It was like having a pet. Yeah, my family would always just kind of like watch me. They're like, there she goes again. She's herding those sheep. Why? In the mature RPG where you can battle fierce creatures, go on quests, I'm herding sheep. But yeah, I would have saved a lot of time as a kid if I had just known that it was apples that they wanted. I wasted so much of my life doing that, just for sheep to follow me around. So the next one is Glarthir. Oh my god, Glarthir. If you've played the game, you know Glarthir. If you don't, he is this kooky little wood elf who thinks, he's like paranoid. He thinks everybody's watching him and following him. And when you first enter the town, he runs up to you and is like, over here, and he wants you to like talk. He wants to talk to you.
Yes, you. We need to talk.
And he follows you. He will follow you to like even outside the city. I used to like see how far he'd go. But anyways, he wants to talk to you to start a quest. Me and my mom both would make this into a game to see how long we could run away from him because he'd follow you. Like, as soon as you enter the city, I think he starts looking for you. I made a game out of this. I remember using, like, console commands to lock doors. This fucker would unlock doors. I don't know how. I didn't know NPCs could even do that. But he would break into places to follow me. And we used to, like, use the fireball spell, and he'd be like... I can't even, I love this so much. He always follows you around and he goes, yes, you, we need to talk. And then we would like cast fireball on him and he'd go, yes, you, we need to, oh, and he'd die.
Yes, you, we, yes.
It's just peak Oblivion. It's this crazy little wood elf following you around. It was just so funny to see the situations we'd get into, like, trying to get away from him. He'd, like, corner us, and we're like, oh, where do we go? So that leads me on to the next subject, is fireballing, which is the same fireball spell we used on Glarthir. This is the weak fireball that you get from the Mages Guild recommendation in Skingrad. You get it when you just start the quest, so it's like really super easy to get. It's really easy to cast, I think. Most of my characters could cast it without a problem. But this spell is it. This spell is great, and it's great for one reason. It's because it has a area radius when it hits something, so it sends shit flying. And I would take this spell and just cast it everywhere in people's houses and send everything flying. I mean, it just like wrecks the whole place. That was peak comedy to me. It was just so much fun just wrecking people's houses. That brings me on to my next topic, the Skingrad recommendation quest for the Mages Guild. So my uncles were the ones who introduced me to Oblivion, and I would always make new characters, like constantly, like multiple times a day when I would go visit. I was just like, oh, I got a new character. Oh, I'm bored of this one. Let's make a new one. And every single one of them, I wanted to get them into the Arcane University, which in order to do that, you have to do all the recommendation quests in the Mages Guild in all the cities. And the one I refused to do was the Skingrad one, for one reason, and that's because it had zombies in it, and I am terrified of Oblivion zombies to this day. But anyway, the reason I bring up my uncles is because I would make them do the quest for me. So they were doing this quest so many times just because I asked, and I didn't want to do it. Eventually, when I got older and learned about console commands, I would just cheat to kill all the zombies. I would just, like, walk in the building and type in kill all, and it would kill everything in there, including the guy you're supposed to look for. But he's essential, so he'd just get knocked out. So it was perfect for me. But like the zombies in Oblivion, they are terrifying. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks though. They are just so grotesque, and the sounds they make, I hate them. To this day, I don't like playing in first person when there's a zombie. I will go into third person mode because they scare the shit out of me. I didn't even want to get the B-roll for this because I didn't want to look at it. So the final thing for this video, at least, was killing Lazar Milvan. This motherfucker, I have a personal vendetta against him. Ever since I was a kid, I will murder this guy every time. You never see him unless you go into his house, and you go in there and he's like, oh, you're obviously of low birth. He's like really fucking rude to you for no reason.
You have obviously made a mistake. Sir Lazara Milvan would never speak with someone of your low birth. You are obviously of low birth. Unless you dispute my judgment, and you would press your suit at the end of a sword. You contradict me. This conversation is tiresome. Leave me, or draw your sword.
And you're just like, excuse me? And he's like, oh, if you want to disagree with me, then draw your sword. And if you do, he runs away like a little bitch.
Hey, come on.
But anyway, I would make it a point to murder Laz this guy every time. Even the other NPCs in the city don't like him. You can like overhear them. They're like, oh, that guy, he's so full of himself. He's such an asshole. But anyways, I've always, ever since I was a kid, first thing, go kill this army. Just make a beeline for him as soon as I exit the sewers. Like,
may I help you?
yeah! So those are some of the weird things I would do as a kid in Oblivion. If you want to hear more, just let me know in the comments. I'll probably make a video anyway, just because I love talking about my childhood memories of this game, because I literally grew up with this game. But if you have any of your own memories that you'd like to share, please do. I love hearing y'all's comments and stuff, and let me know what you think about the video and whatever other topics you'd like me to cover related to Elder Scrolls or anything fantasy. My main thing is just, I want to talk about everything fantasy related on this channel, which is mostly going to be nostalgic shit, because fantasy as a genre is just what raised me. It's just so near and dear to me, and Elder Scrolls especially. I love anything Elder Scrolls related. I could talk about it for hours, so if you want to hear any more, let me know and I will. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and just coming to my little corner of the internet. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, just give it a thumbs up or subscribe if you want to hear more. And yeah, you can follow me on other social medias such as like Instagram, Twitter. I'm kind of on Twitter. I try to be active on Twitter. I don't know how to use Twitter, but I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitch sometimes. I kind of come and go with that, but when I do, I stream Elder Scrolls mostly. I don't have a set schedule. I have ADHD. I cannot plan anything. I come and go as I please. But anyways, I will see you next upload, and thank you again.